Hello. Today I will tell you three stories. All of them are based on real patients and all of them have one thing in common. Case 1. A young woman in her early 30s in Pune. She had given birth to her baby only 4 days earlier. She was at home, caring for her daughter, feeling a little tired but happy. Suddenly she felt the room spinning. She tried to stand up from the chair but her legs felt weak. She called her husband and when he came he noticed that her words were strange and heavy. Her speech was no longer clear. Within 10 minutes he put her in the car and took her straight to the nearest hospital. In the emergency room the team examined her, did a brain scan and saw a blockage in a blood vessel. She received a clot-dissolving medicine through a vein. Within a short time her speech returned and the strength in her legs came back. The dizziness faded. She was able to hold her baby again.
Case 2. A man 62 years old from Delhi. He is a lawyer and had been under pressure from large debts and long working hours. For years he had high blood pressure and diabetes but rarely took his tablets. He was overweight and sat at his desk late into the night. It was 2 in the morning. While working on his computer he felt a sudden very severe headache, unlike anything before. He knew something was badly wrong. He called his brother and then collapsed. He woke up 10 days later in an intensive care unit. He had undergone brain surgery. Doctors explained that a blood vessel in his brain had burst and caused a large hemorrhagic stroke. Case 3. A woman 58 years old from Chennai. She had a history of irregular heart rhythm but had not visited her cardiologist for many years. She was at a family function when she noticed a tingling feeling on one side of her face. Her daughter told her that her mouth was pulled to one side. She looked in a mirror and could see the change herself. Her family took her to the hospital at once. Halfway there the tingling stopped and her mouth looked normal again. Even so the doctors performed imaging and kept her in the hospital for observation. They explained that she had most likely suffered a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke, which can pass quickly but is a strong warning before a major stroke.
What do these three stories share? All three people had a stroke event. One was young and had just delivered a baby. One was an older man with many risk factors. One was a woman with heart rhythm problems who ignored follow-up. Stroke does not only happen to very old people, it can affect young adults, new mothers and busy professionals. Stroke can take away the ability to speak, to walk and to work, and in many cases the damage is permanent. If you want to protect yourself and your family from this serious disease, stay with me until the end of this video. You will learn the main early warning signs of stroke and what to do in those first minutes. Before we continue, press like on this video and subscribe to the channel so that more people in India receive clear information. Share this video with one person you care about. In the comments you can write if you know anyone who has had a stroke and which city in India you are watching from.
A stroke is a true medical emergency. Your heart pumps blood that carries oxygen and nutrients to every part of your brain. If blood suddenly stops reaching one area, that part of the brain begins to suffer and die. Brain cells are very sensitive. When they are cut off from oxygen, millions of neurons start to die each minute. That is why doctors use the phrase time is brain. Every minute lost means more brain tissue lost. 2 or 3 decades ago when a person with stroke came to many hospitals there was little that could be done. If there was no bleeding on the scan, doctors would often give aspirin, control blood pressure and simply watch to see how much damage remained. Today the situation is very different. There are effective medicines that can dissolve clots inside arteries. There are also procedures that can open blocked brain arteries using thin tubes and special devices. I have seen people come into emergency units unable to move one side of the body or speak clearly, and after receiving the right treatment within the correct time window, they begin to speak again and lift their arm with strength.
This is why you cannot wait at home and hope symptoms will pass. If you or someone near you has the signs I am going to describe, you must act quickly. Time that passes is brain tissue that you are losing. The faster you reach a hospital with scan facilities and a stroke team, the higher the chance that doctors can limit the damage and save function. Now let us look at the early warning signs that should always make you think of stroke.
First group of signs: sudden problems with balance or coordination. A person who was fine a moment ago may suddenly stagger, feel that the room is spinning or be unable to stand steadily. Second group of signs: Changes in face, arm or speech on one side of the body. The mouth or face may droop. One arm or leg may feel weak or numb. Speech may become slurred or the person may not understand simple words. Third group of signs: sudden severe headache and vision changes. A very intense headache which a person describes as the worst in their life, especially if combined with vomiting, confusion or blurred vision, can be a sign of a dangerous bleeding stroke.
If you are with someone who was normal and suddenly starts to show any of these signs, stroke must be the first thing you consider. To help you remember, there is a simple tool used all over the world. It is the word be fast.
B is for balance. Is there a sudden loss of balance or coordination? Does the person look like they might fall? E is for eyes. Is there sudden trouble with vision, such as blurred vision, double vision or loss of sight in one or both eyes? F is for face. Ask the person to smile. Does one side of the face hang down or look uneven? A is for arms. Ask the person to raise both arms in front of them. Does one arm drift down or feel weak? S is for speech. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence. Is the speech slurred or strange or are they unable to speak at all? T is for time. If you see any of these signs, it is time to act and to get help immediately. There are two main types of stroke. The first and most common type is called a ischemic stroke. It happens when an artery supplying the brain is blocked. A clot can form in the neck or in the heart and travel to the brain. It can also form directly inside a brain artery that has become narrow from fatty deposits. The second type is called hemorrhagic stroke. It is caused by rupture of a weakened blood vessel, which leads to bleeding inside the brain. One reason for such rupture is a brain aneurysm. This is like a small weak spot in the wall of an artery. Over time, with continuous blood pressure, this weak spot can balloon outward. Like a balloon that becomes thinner as it inflates, the wall of the aneurysm becomes fragile. If that bubble breaks, blood spills into the brain tissue and into the space around the brain. This can cause a very sudden severe headache, loss of consciousness and permanent damage. Another important condition is called a transient ischemic attack, often called a mini stroke. In this situation, a blockage stops blood flow for a short time, but then clears on its own. The symptoms may last only a few minutes or up to a couple of hours and then disappear. Because the symptoms go away, some people think that nothing serious happened. However, a transient ischemic attack is a major warning. It means that the circulation to the brain is unstable and that a major stroke may be near if the cause is not found and treated. The brain is the control center for all functions of the body. Different regions control different tasks, such as movement, speech, vision, memory, and personality. When a stroke affects the left side of the brain, the right side of the body may become weak or paralyzed. The language center is usually on the left in most people, so strokes there often cause difficulty speaking or understanding words. When the right side of the brain is affected, the left side of the body may become weak. A person may also have trouble judging space, may ignore things on the left side of their vision, or may experience changes in behavior. Strokes in the cerebellum can cause severe problems with balance and coordination. Strokes in the brainstem can affect breathing, consciousness, and many vital functions. This is why stroke can look very different from one person to another. But the common pattern is sudden change. Sudden weakness, sudden loss of speech, sudden confusion, sudden loss of vision, or sudden severe headache.
Now let us talk about the main causes of stroke, especially in India. The most important risk factor is high blood pressure. When blood pressure is high for many years, it damages the inner lining of arteries. This makes them more likely to become blocked or to break. Other major risks are diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, chewing tobacco, heart rhythm problems such as atrial fibrillation, obesity, lack of physical activity, and a strong family history of stroke or heart disease. In many Indian cities, these risk factors are appearing at younger ages because of long working hours, fast food, lack of sleep, and constant stress. Stroke in a person in their 30s or 40s can destroy the ability to work and to support a family for many years. The good news is that many of these risks can be reduced. Controlling blood pressure with lifestyle changes and medicines when needed. Managing blood sugar and cholesterol. Avoiding all forms of tobacco. Reducing heavy alcohol intake. Eating more fruits, vegetables and whole grains and fewer deep-fried and highly processed foods. Staying physically active and maintaining a healthy weight.
Stroke prevention is not one single action. It is the result of many small decisions made every day. Measuring your blood pressure regularly and following your doctor's advice. Knowing your blood sugar and cholesterol and keeping them in the target range. Moving your body through the day instead of sitting for many hours without a break. Choosing more home-cooked food and less fast food. Sleeping at regular times and finding simple ways to reduce constant stress. If you have already had a transient ischemic attack or a small stroke, you must take this as a serious warning. Take your medicines exactly as prescribed. Keep your follow-up appointments. Ask your doctor clearly what your targets for pressure, sugar and cholesterol are and how to reach them.
If you have watched until this point, you now know more about stroke than many people around you. You have heard 3 real-world stories, learned the early warning signs, understood the BE Fast tool, and seen how modern treatments depend entirely on how fast patients reach the hospital. Do not keep this information only in your mind, share it. Today, speak with at least one family member or colleague about what you learned. Teach them the word "be fast" and tell them that time is brain. If this video helped you, press like so that it reaches more people in India. Share it with your parents, friends and co-workers, especially those who have high blood pressure, diabetes or stressful office jobs. In the comments, tell us what change you will make this month to lower your stroke risk and what other topics about stroke and heart health you want to learn in future videos. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so that you do not miss the next lessons from Dr. Heartwise on stroke, heart attacks, stress, brain health and heart health. Stroke can strike quickly, but many strokes can be prevented and many can be treated much better when people recognize the signs early. The time to act is now, while you still feel well. Protect your brain before an emergency forces you to.